Good afternoon, Community Church of Mount Pleasant, and others who may be watching and listening to us. Thank you for coming into my office here at the Community Church. It's a beautiful day, as it usually is out here at the church, and we're just talking about some of the great successes and blessings and wins that the Lord has done for us here at our church. We had a great day Sunday. Excited about our new series in Ruth, the book of Ruth. We're going to study the whole book. It's a short book, 4 little chapters, and we had a great start last Sunday and a really good day. And so I was just looking through some of our things that are coming up. I was looking at our bulletin. I really want to say thanks to Jonathan Burgess, who helps us with a lot of these things, and it's a beautiful cover and just really good organization and just so many things that God has blessed our people who bring their talents to the Lord, and I hate to start mentioning names because there's so many servants that give their gifts and abilities to the Lord. So, man, thanks for that, and excited about this week. I want to ask one of our guys, Rob. I want you to come up. I wanted to tell you two things. I want him to give us a recap of I Love My City, and also talk a little bit about our men's ministry events of this weekend. Rob, come on up. I'll try to slide out of the way a little bit for you.
I'll just pop a knee.
Yeah, that's good. On your knee.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everybody who participated in the I Love My City campaign. The town of Mount Pleasant looks great. You guys did a wonderful job painting the fire hydrants, picking up the trash, and the front end of Town Hall. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's right behind the fire department. You guys planted some beautiful flowers there, and there were actually a couple of the girls were there facilitating that, so it looks very geometric and well placed, so it's not just scattered.
Not like if you and I would have done it.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I think Hazel was doing a lot better job than I was. So,
there you go.
But I was helping.
Right.
So again, I really appreciate that. We're thankful for that, and it's going to be even bigger next year, I think, because we have a better handle on how to do it. So thank you guys. Another thing, this Saturday we have the men's breakfast, which is kind of, you hear about that all the time. Every month we do this. But this time we've added what I'm continuing to call our first habitual camp out. I don't want to limit it. I would love to just spend as much time out there as possible. We're going to be camping out here on the grounds. We're going to meet about 6 p.m. Friday evening. That would be the 28th. No, the 29th. I apologize. On the 29th, we'll meet here about 6. We'll set up camp. We're going to be eating, obviously. We're going to be cooking over the fire, cast iron griddles and Dutch ovens. So if you have a recipe or anything you'd like to have made or make while we're out there, go ahead and forward that to me on Facebook. If you want to come but you're concerned that you don't have enough gear or anything like that, come anyway. I would ask that you would let us know and tell us what your need for gear is. A lot of us have excess, so we're going to bring that extra to try to set up and facilitate for folks that maybe necessarily wouldn't have the gear that they would need to camp. It doesn't matter. We're going to make it work one way or the other. So if you have a need for gear, please let us know. Myself or Hunter Carter or Matt Barnhart, we're all kind of putting this all together. And two, if you have a food desire, something you want to make or you'd like to see made, just let us know. We've still got some time so we can facilitate that. We're going to come out, we're going to fellowship, and we're going to eat, and we're going to spend some time out in the woods. So if you need to learn something or there's something you want to know how to do, this will be a really good time. And like I said, this is going to be a continual thing, so we'll just call this the first of many classes. But again, thank you guys for I Love My City. And thank you for coming out this weekend. It's going to be a good time.
Thanks, Rob. I heard this is going to be a great weekend for the guys. I heard some of the guys talking last night about throwing some steaks on the grill Friday night. So obviously I volunteered. I felt like, as pastor, I probably should come and be there, just to show my support. Anytime they're cooking steaks, I'm probably going to be there. So we're excited about that. And actually, I was at visiting one of our guys this morning in his place of work, and he was talking about bringing his oldest son out there Friday night, which is just Perfect. That's what we want to do. We want dads, bring your sons out, bring your granddads, bring your anybody want to come out and hang out with some guys, and it's just going to be fun. You know, not a lot of agenda, not a lot of planning and programming. Just a good time for some guys to be together and have fun. And man, what a better place that God's given us here to do things like that. So we're excited about our summer here. The calendar keeps on moving, and I've been working hard at our planning. We pretty much have May and June and July on the calendar, and our events are planned out, our messages, our series, all that's planned, and it's just going to be a great 3 months. And of course, this coming Sunday will be our second sermon series of Ruth, and then May 8th is going to be Mother's Day. We'll culminate our study on Ruth on Mother's Day, and we'll celebrate our moms. And so just a lot of good things. We have a baptism service coming up in May as well. And you'll be hearing all about that on Sunday. I hope you can join us. So, all right, I have a passage for you today, the book of Psalms. And this kind of follows up on our message on Sunday. We talked about Ruth, and there are three messages in the book of Ruth. Number one was Ruth's the decision that she made. And that really started and set the pace for the whole rest of the book of Ruth. This Sunday, we're going to talk about Ruth's service. You'll see once her and Naomi got back to Bethlehem, back home for Naomi, God had some plans for them. And so we see Ruth falling into what is the beginning of God's plan for her as she begins to serve and work diligently. And just some really practical things. And then we will culminate the study of Ruth with chapters 3 and 4 on Mother's Day. And the theme there will be Ruth's reward. And it's a happy ending. This is a drama. It'd be a great movie, and hopefully a lot of probably a little bit of a chick flick. A lot of our ladies, I think, will enjoy this series. But this past Sunday we talked about Ruth's choice, and her choice was Naomi came to Moab, and it was a step kind of away from God and away from God's will by her husband Elimelech and her two sons. Well, bad things started happening in Moab for this family. Elimelech died, and Naomi's two sons died. So there are a mother and her two daughter-in-laws left in Moab alone, helpless pretty much. And so Naomi said, I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go back to God's place, where God's people are. And the two daughter-in-laws were not from Bethlehem. They were foreigners. They were pagans. They were idol worshippers. And it was awkward for them to go back because they really didn't fit. So Naomi encouraged them to stay. Orpah, one of the daughter-in-laws, said, you know what, I really love you and I want to go back, but I'm going to stay here with my people in Moab. Ruth made a different choice. She had fallen in love with her mother-in-law, and she loved her and trusted her, and she realized, if I go back with you, Naomi, to Bethlehem, my lifestyle will change, because those are God's people. They worship the one true and living God of Israel. And she made that choice to walk away from her culture, her people, her family, to follow her mother-in-law and adopt her way of living, which meant God, the God of Israel. So, huge decision in Ruth chapter 1. Well, I want to read a little passage out of Psalm chapter 37 today, and then we'll wrap up our devotional time for you today. This is about decisions, and I want to follow up on Ruth's decision. It's about making choices. That's what the message was about Sunday. Here's a quote, and the quote is unknown, and you probably heard it. It's pretty popular. I really think it's powerful. The greatest power a person possesses is the power to choose. Now, think about that. You need to think a little bit with me on that one. The greatest power a person possesses is the power to choose. You are free to think the way that you choose to think. And ultimately to live the way, and make the choices that you choose, particularly in our country, in America. We're free. We can go to church where we want. We can go shop where we want. We can live where we want. We have the freedom to make choices. And that's what this passage is all about. And I want to read you Psalm chapter 37, the first few verses, and it really has a lot to do with the way we think and the way we make decisions. I love the way it starts in verse 1. Fret not. Do you need that today? Are you fretting? Are you stressed? Are you frazzled? Are you worried? Probably. I'm a pastor and I find myself fretting sometimes. And I know I shouldn't. I know God's in control, but I fret. I'm sorry. Verse 37, or Psalm chapter 37, verse, fret not thyself because of evildoers. Wow, how practical is that in the world we live in this country right now, in this time of elections and debates and philosophical differences and bathroom disagreements. And fret not yourself because of evildoers. Don't let that destroy you, because there always has been evildoers. There always will be evil in this world that we live in. Fret not because of evildoers, neither be envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down. Does anybody, maybe you see someone on television or hear an interview and you're just like, oh, they make me so mad. They will soon be cut down. Like the grass. You ever mow grass? You like mowing grass? Well, they're going to be cut down like grass and wither as the green herb. Verse 3, 4, and 5 is really where I want you to see. Trust in the Lord and do good. This is where we tie in our decisions. In light of the world that we live in, the negativity and the dissension and the things that cause us to fret and worry, trust in the Lord and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of your heart. Wow. What are you delighting in today? Do you delight in your family? That's good. We should. Your home, your job, your bank account. Verse 4 says, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of your heart. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean when he says desires of your heart, okay, you delight in the Lord, I'll give you everything you want. Maybe not. What he says is, I will place desires in your heart. I'll give you desires that are honorable and that will honor the Lord if we delight in him. So don't miss that verse. And then verse 5. And again, this ties in with the decisions and the choices we make. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. A lot of health and stability in this short passage in Psalm chapter 37. So we talked Sunday about Ruth, and we talked about a tragic situation. Her husband died, her father-in-law died, they're left in a land helpless and hopeless, and they decided to go back with Naomi to Bethlehem, to God's country, to God's people. They made that choice. I'm sure they fretted, they worried, they were concerned, but they made a choice to delight themselves in the Lord, to follow after the ways of the Lord, to follow the God, the true, the one God of Israel, and place their life in his hands. And God is beginning in Ruth chapter 2 to give them the desires of their heart. So, what is it that you are fretting about today? Maybe there's insecurity with your job. Maybe you've got issues in your family. We all do. Maybe there are challenges in other areas of your life. Well, trust in the Lord. Delight yourself in him. Sometimes we are prone to second guess ourselves when we make decisions. Do you ever do that? Man, I wish I would have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Or what if I would have done that? You know what? You can do that all day, and it's counterproductive. When we make a choice, we deal with it, we live with it, we move forward. Don't dwell in the past. What we have decided to do in the past is over. We have to move forward. What would you change? Do you have regrets? Perhaps, well, I wish I would have studied more when I was in school. I wish I was more consistent in my daily quiet time. I wish I was a better listener. I wish I was more attentive to the present and spent less time on the past or the future. I wish I'd spent more time with my family. It's not too late to change the way you live your life. Trust in the Lord. Place your life, your faith, your hope, your future in His hands, and allow Him to give you the desires of your heart. It will impact your life. It's not too late to change. I would encourage you to follow Ruth and learn about her decision, to walk away from her past and to follow the God of her future. And so I really want you to come join us this Sunday, and then of course Mother's Day, we're really excited about that. Excited about all that God is doing here at the Community Church of Mount Pleasant. Thank you for joining us today. Remember Psalm 37, read it yourself. Fret less, trust in the Lord, and you put Him as to be the delight of your life. God bless you. Thanks for joining us, and we're praying for you today. We'll see you Sunday.